Alright, for the Astro Bros channel, today we are going to be going back over and extending into the playlist of the Lunar Mansion series, the nakshatras in Vedic astrology, what they mean, why they're important, and how they help you with your predictions using astrology. Alright, so as a recap, lunar mansions, they are the amount of degrees that the moon moves in one day. There are 27 of them. The moon is on a 27-day orbit. There's 360 degrees in a circle. If you divide 360 by 27, you get 13 and a third. Given that we use degrees, it's 13.2 degrees per lunar mansion. Each lunar mansion has a co-ruler, similar to the signs of Scorpio, Aquarius, and Pisces, how they have their own set of co-rulers. So whatever planet is you have in this lunar mansion in your chart, or the chart of the person you're analyzing, you're going to see the effects of this co-ruler as well, the lunar mansion co-ruler. No matter if it's the moon in this placement, this 13 and a third degree placement, if it's Mars, Sun, Jupiter, whatever the heck have you, these lunar mansions are very useful for prediction. And today we are going to be talking about the 8th lunar mansion, known as Pushya. It's in the sign of Cancer, from 3.2 degrees Cancer to 16.4 degrees Cancer. And the co-ruler of this lunar mansion is Saturn. So what happens when you put the sign of Cancer with the co-ruler of Saturn? Well, if you watch my video on Cancer Sun or Cancer Ascendant, you will know that the sign of Cancer is about caregiving. It's about emotions. It's about motherly instincts. It's about defending your home. It's about defending your homeland. And it's the opposite of the sign of Capricorn. And the sign of Capricorn is about your work and your service to others, which is actually ruled by Saturn. Cancer represents midnight. Capricorn represents midday when you work. And Cancer represents midnight when you're at home and taking care of your family, that kind of thing. Cancer represents obligations to your household. It also represents your relationship with your mother, and the types of things that make you not necessarily pleasurable, but comfortable, emotionally happy. So Cancer is perceived as the higher self of Taurus, whereas Taurus is material pleasures and comforts. Cancer is emotional pleasures and comforts, which is kind of a higher version of that. This being said, when you put the co-ruling energy of Saturn here, you get a person who feels that it is their duty during the day to work not only for their own happiness, but for the happiness of everyone around them. So the symbol of this nakshatra is the cow udder, the udder of a dairy cow. And that's because these people have a tendency to give and give and give until they don't have anything left to give. And that, depending on the specific degrees here, this can make a person very, very resentful. The core goal, because Saturn also not only does it represent your work and boundaries, it also represents the limitations that you put up. So the boundaries, learning how to say no, just the walls in general, whether that's the walls of your home or the walls of your country. Saturn represents borders. So these people have a balance between wanting to display this higher love, this charitable, motherly love, and give to everyone around them, and putting up walls and boundaries that, because you can't keep giving until you don't have anything left. It ultimately will destroy you. And that's these people's goal, is to balance that love with material reality and just the limitations of material reality. The fact that you can't just be this ever giving entity that gives to everybody. You have to live in the real world and realize that not everybody's going to help themselves, and that is ultimately, first and foremost, their responsibility. So these people deal with a lot of boundaries in their life. like all Cancer energy, they perceive a lot, and as a result, they can be kind of neurotic, crabby. Um, this is exacerbated by the fact that they want to give, but have they just have to they have to learn not to all the time. And they learn to decide who is worthy of nourishment and who is not worthy of nourishment. And this forms an internal contradiction in them. But nonetheless, this is the more emotionally stable part of Cancer. I would say probably the most emotionally stable part of Cancer. The nakshatra that we'll get to tomorrow, which is the latter half of Cancer, is far less emotionally stable, and it's co-ruled by Mercury, and we'll get there next. But anyway, that was my relatively short video on the Pushya nakshatra. Just to sum up, main ruler of this nakshatra is Moon. The co-ruler, the lunar co-ruler, is Cancer, or Saturn, and it represents the balance between giving and limiting, and being selfish, basically. So that is the nakshatra of Pushya. And tune in next time for the 9th lunar mansion, the nakshatra of Ashlesha, which is going to be a lot more direct side of Cancer. Till next time.